opening up the UFC Vegas 65 fight card, we have Natalia Silva taking on Tereza Bleda. Natalia Silva's 13-5 overall. She's 5-0 in her last 5. She has not lost a fight since 2017, and she's coming off a phenomenal UFC debut. Tereza Bleda, 6-0 in her career. She is undefeated. She's only 20 years old, and she's making her UFC debut. This is an interesting fight. I think Natalia should smoke Tereza. But with that being said, Tereza's an aggressive grappler. She's very determined. She will come forward. She will do what she needs to get it to the ground. And then once she's on top, she's actually pretty dangerous. Natalia Silva is very good. She's coming off that win over Jasmine Jasudavicius, who I forget her exact credentials, but it's like Canadian national champion or Canadian runner-up wrestler. And Natalia Silva defended 6 takedowns. She had 3 of her own. She looked great in that fight. So I think Natalia sort of hands it to the UFC newcomer here. I am surprised about this matchup because I don't know why you signed somebody so young and so early if you're not trying to build them up. And if you're trying to build her up, you should not be giving her to Natalia Silva in her UFC debut. What do you think, Jackie boy?
Yeah, my favorite part about the Natalia Silva UFC debut was watching the fight and listening to the broadcast and hearing DC and Dominic Cruz being so amazed by the striking of Natalia. And they were like, oh my God, she hasn't fought in I don't know how long, a couple years. There was no way for Jasmine to know that she was going to be the striker that she was. I can't believe she's developed. Guess who told you guys that she was going to look like that? I did, because I did the deep dive research on her Instagram. And I told you guys that her striking was going to look fantastic. She came out, looked absolutely unbelievable. The people that do this show were like, oh, there's no way to know how we couldn't. I knew. And I told you guys, and I think the exact same thing happens in this fight. Yes, she does have to defend the takedowns. And these are probably going to be more wrestling style takedowns more than Jasmine. Jasmine was a lot of like try to get in the clinch and the body locks, and she was able to shed those. I think she's going to have to defend a single leg or a double or 2 in this fight. I still think she's able to do that. Her footwork is fantastic, and that's going to be the key to her winning this fight. Footwork, in and out, side to side. Bleda is going to be just chasing, and those perfect counter shots should be there all night for Natalia. So I'm very high on Natalia in this fight. I agree. This is a little bit tougher matchup. Bleda is a tough girl. She will have to defend probably a deep single or 2 in this, and if she can, I think she easily wins. But if she gets put on her back, we'll see what she can offer in her guard.
Yeah, it's definitely. I'm just surprised by the matchmaking here, but Sam Pierce with the $2 super chat, y'all looking dummy thick. Thank you for the content. Listen, I'm not as young as Jacob. I assume that's a compliment. Did he call me fat?
Oh, no. You got that dump truck.
All right, I'll take it.
I mean, I've been on the chair showing mine. I don't know if you want to get up on the chair and
thank you.
See, not for $1.99. What will it take?
Not for $1.
What's your price? Because I can donate too, Angelo. I can donate too, Angelo.
Anyway, we both think Natalia wins. Like I said, the matchup's a little bit surprising because I don't know what they're trying to do here. Are you trying to build up Natalia? Give her a little bit of an easier fight. Somebody's not going to be diving at legs. If you're trying to build up your newly signed grappler, Tereza, then give her somebody that she can definitely beat. I don't know what this is, but I'll take it. I like Natalia to win. You like Natalia to win. Do you like her at $8,900 in DraftKings? Which means she probably needs to finish her a good amount of control time.
Yeah, she does a lot of dancing around. I don't think she's really live for a finish. Maybe, if Bleda gets so aggressive that she gets worn out and Silva's able to jump over. She's not going to be a surprise anymore. And that's the other caveat to this, right? Because apparently it was a surprise that she was looking that good. Bleda is going to know what to expect in this fight, so might have a game plan for her. So it's probably a little expensive on the 8,900.
Yeah, I think 8,900 is a bit much. She should win this fight, but I do think it's probably a decision. You might get some grappling out of it. I mean, it's a borderline price point. It's a borderline price point because it's not the 9,300. And if she's getting the takedowns, getting the control, she could look good and score some solid points. The Monkey Knife Fight strike line, if you don't know what that is daily fantasy. You just say more or less than that. And if you're right, you can triple your money. 78 to 62. It's probably a more less situation because in order for Tereza to get to 62, she's going to need the takedowns. I think she might struggle with some of the takedowns, or if she is working the takedown, she's not going to be striking as much as she should. So I think it's less with Natalia dancing around, probably getting some of her own takedowns. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with that. This fight could turn into Bleda on a single and just holding for a minute on the cage, and then she circles off it, and then there could be a lot of cage control in this. I don't think she's going to win because of it, because it seems like the judges kind of hate that these days. But yeah, I could see them more or less.
Yeah, so I don't know if I'm going to play that line, but if you want to give it a stab, go to wewantpicks.com/MKF. It is daily fantasy, and they will match your deposit. If you give them $50, they'll give you 50. You give them 100, they'll give you 100. Take the free money, play some of these lines, and we have some really good Knockout King entries for this week as well, which is also a monkey knife fight game.